Okay, Tim, do you want to start?
Thank you. Thanks for your time, Stuart. 2-1 up, you're on the verge of taking your 300th Test wicket, an Ashes Test match. It probably doesn't get any better as far as the build-up is concerned, does it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great week playing at my home ground, Trent Bridge. I love bowling and batting here. The atmosphere is always good, so it does bode to be an exciting week. But we're quite conscious of the team of obviously breaking this consistency barrier that we've gone on for 7 games, and it's all about breaking that down into the simplest form as players. So focusing on our individual jobs Thursday morning or when we get to do them, and not thinking about the exterior things, so 300 wickets, wins, that sort of thing. It's very much get your basics right, and that's what our training is going to be very focused on. It's what our mentality is going to be. Just making sure our skills are up to date, because we don't want our minds to drift onto different things.
Yeah, given the way the series has gone, it's not your turn to win this one, is it?
It's not just, it's pretty much the year, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's been a strange sequence. So I think as a team, we've been really strong in our views of making sure it's all, so as an opening bowler, it's all about that first over for me, that first hour, opening batsman setting the tone, rather than looking too far ahead and thinking about winning Ashes series or 300 wickets or whatever other things are going on. It's just going to be very much cricket based, and making sure we're right on the money that way, because we do need to change this sequence.
We watched Mark Wood almost, go through sort of fitness drills and things. Obviously there are a couple of days to go, but would you say, having been involved in the squad, he would be the first choice to replace Jimmy?
I don't know. I've not had any conversations. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of Mark Wood. He's done nothing wrong in his few Test matches so far, and if his body gets through the treatment he's had, then he's going to be in a great position to play. He's done well with the bat. He's taken wickets with the ball. He's looked threatening, and he bowls quickly. He's a wicket taker. So I'm a big fan of his, and if he's fit, he's going to be in a good place, I'd have thought.
Stuart, I know Michael Clarke is a class act as a batsman, but when you have the opposing captain and a key player openly questioning his own form, that's a real plus for a bowler, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we obviously do a lot of research on him, because what does he average, 52 or something in over 110 tests, which is a remarkable career he's had. So we obviously, as a bowling unit, talk a lot about him, what sort of plans we have to him, what sort of areas we want to bowl to him, and we're quite proud of the way we've bowled at him so far. I mean, it's not like he's been getting out nicking really wide half volleys or anything. I think genuinely we've said we've bowled really well at him. So that's about resetting our minds again for this week. It's going to be a slightly different attack, obviously, with Jimmy missing out, but making sure that we're right on the money for those first 20 balls. I mean, our batsmen always say to us as bowlers, those first 20 balls are the most dangerous time. So make sure, if you're talking about a plan, get it right for the first 20. And we've made it hard for Michael, and he'll obviously be working hard to get the better of us this week. And he's got a good record in England. He scored a lot of hundreds against us as a team, so we know how dangerous he is. But we've bowled really well at him, and we need to adjust our plans? Do we need to bowl differently at him here at Trent Bridge? We'll talk about it over the next couple of days. But he's such a key player for them, and it's been going well so far for us.
In terms of breaking the consistency sequence, I think there was a feeling, an admission after Cardiff, that maybe as a group England worried a bit too much about what reaction there was going to be from Australia, rather than maybe concentrating on your own game. Is that a mistake that you will seek to not repeat?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Cookie's very clear, like, it's all about us this week. I think, looking back, we had obviously a great week at Cardiff, and there was maybe in our minds, the Aussies will come hard at us, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, let's just focus on what we've got to do. I think that point about us as an opening bowler, making sure you're right on the money for your first spell, opening batsman, get through that new ball, making sure our game plans are dead right, and not too bothered about what the Aussies are doing, because we know they're a dangerous team. We know. I think that's why the series has been quite fascinating. The Test matches haven't been really close, have they? They've not like 05, where each game went to the wire. But it's been a fascinating series, because you just don't know what's going to happen hour to hour. I mean, as a bowling group, you've been going out there getting no wickets for an hour and then 4 in the next. It just doesn't make any sense. But it's an exciting series to play and an exciting series to watch, I hope, and that's why I think people are enjoying it.
Just finally from me on that, do you think Trent Bridge can match Edgbaston in terms of noise?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great ground. It's we do get fantastic support here. I mean, I think I'm a bit biased being a local boy, and seeing the reaction we get here as a team. We've got a fantastic record as a team here, and I think that obviously helps with the support we get. I mean, Edgbaston was something different. I mean, sort of being at mid-off when Finney was running in for that hat-trick ball, it was like the ground was about to erupt. It was awesome. But Trent Bridge gets like that as well. I mean, the guys who played the one day here at the start of the year, chasing down, you'll know better than me, it was 340, 350 odd. They said the atmosphere was electric there, and that does it helps a huge amount, and hopefully we'll get that same support.
Ali?
Stuart, Jimmy's been a pretty permanent fixture in your international career alongside you, but he's out for this game. How do you feel about sort of taking over now in the spearhead of the attack? And also, how important is it that he's staying here for this test and he's still part of the range for us?
Yeah, it's a great decision to have him around this week. I mean, what's he got, 50 odd test wickets here at not many. So most guys have played quite a bit of cricket here. Finney obviously had that great new ball spell here in 2013. I think Woody's got a few fifers here in first class cricket as well. But just having Jimmy around, he extracts the most out of this wicket as any bowler I've seen. Not just swing, but you remember 2013 he was bowling cutters and that sort of thing, which was causing the Aussie problems. So I mean, I'm gutted for him that he's missing this test match, but I genuinely believe he's confident of making the Oval, which he'll do everything he can to be right for that. But having him around, he's obviously such an integral part of the squad, having his feedback, and he obviously got 81 with the bat here, so he might be able to help out our batsmen a bit as well.
And in terms of being a senior man? No?
I mean, I think the importance of that is actually not to apply too much pressure to myself. I don't think that changes my role particularly. The key to it, what Jimmy and I always do well as a partnership, is we talk all the time. So Edgbaston that first morning, we tried to swing it for 2 or 3 overs and then thought, well, actually with these conditions, let's try and wobble it, and we got more success out of that. So it'll be important that the bowling unit talk proactively this game, and I think that's what I'll try and lead, that we're always talking about what's working best on this wicket, and I think that's what Jimmy and I naturally do, so I'll probably have to be a bit more conscious of doing that this week.
Stuart, this ground 2 years ago is where your love-hate relationship with Australia escalated, I guess. How do you reflect on that incident and all of that since? Yeah,
I mean, it's. I quite enjoy the rivalry, to be honest. I like the bit of banter that flies around. I mean, I think you need those sort of villain-type characters in teams for the crowd to get going. I mean, Mitch is obviously the Aussie one in the English crowd, and whenever he comes on to bowl, everyone goes to the seats, don't they? Because they want to see the way he bowls, how he reacts to the crowd. They want to see the crowd fire up, and that was the same for me in Australia. I mean, every time I came on to bowl, I got a lively reception, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I've gone through, quite enjoyed on the quiet. Really, it's not often that you get booed by 60,000 people, but it's something I can tell my grandkids for sure.
Would you pick the better ground to be on 209
Well, yeah, Edgbaston, because it means we'd have got some wickets quicker that third morning. But yeah, I mean, I love being here. My family obviously around as well. Dad's just got back from Bangladesh, where he's seen rain for 2 weeks, I think. But yeah, it's a great place to play. I love playing here for Notts. I love playing here for England, and I don't want to look too far ahead about getting that 300th wicket, because I think that will take me away from what I talked about earlier about really sticking to game plans and routines and stuff. But yeah, it would be a dream come true to get it at Trent Bridge for sure.
Stuart, the pitch here last year for the Test match was pretty heartbreaking.
I tried to forget about that.
Over medium pace. Have you had a look at the pitch as it stands at the moment, and what are you expecting from it?
I actually haven't. It was under covers when we trained yesterday, but from what the bit of chatter in the change room, it looks quite similar to Edgbaston, a little bit more tufty grass, but of course that can be cut off going in. But I remember the India test last year, 2 or 3 days out, we were looking at it going, right, this is ready to go now. This is so dry. So I don't think it's like that. I know the groundsman's worked extremely hard. I think he's been in contact with the Edgbaston groundsman as well, because I thought that pitch was a fantastic test pitch. I mean, actually, it was a good decision to bat at the toss, because you saw that if that test had gone the distance, that pitch would have turned as well, and potentially gone down a bit. So I think it was a great cricket wicket at Edgbaston. I'm sure Trent Bridge will try and emulate that, but always here, the sunshine makes a big difference. If it's a blue sky, it's good to bat. If it's cloudy, it can be good to bowl.
Stuart, with this inconsistent streak that you've got, and 2 on it with 2 to come, is there any danger that you think, all right, well, we'll be whatever happens here, we'll be all right at the Oval?
I saw Cookie said that,
against that and make sure you're on it really here at Trent Bridge?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we're consistently the most inconsistent side at the minute, aren't we? We have to change that, and that's why there's no point just ignoring it. There's no point just pretending it's not happened. I think the braver thing and the more honest thing to do is actually talk about it in the change room and say, look, we've got to make sure we do something slightly different this week than we have done this year so far. That's why we train the extra day. That's why we've talked about having a lot of energy throughout the leading into the game, because thing about the back-to-back test matches, so coming from Cardiff, the bowlers are maybe a bit tired, they take training a bit lighter, and you're probably not in it all together as much as when you're starting a series. So with this being a back-to-back test, we've obviously had a couple of extra days. There's no reason why we can't treat this as the first test of a series, and it's exciting because now we've approached the situation, now we've actually got it out in the open that this is happening, let's change it. It's obviously a very good place to start, but when as a team we're aware of things, we generally do change pretty quickly.
So ownership from not Stephen, and speaking about that 300 milestone, what would hitting that out your home ground Trent Bridge mean to you? Yeah,
I mean, as I say, I'm trying to sort of stay away from looking at outward influences this week, because that's, you've heard me say it 3 or 4 times, it's a bit of a team push this week that we make a bit of a change. But obviously the chance to get 300 test wickets would be a proud moment to have my parents here, my grandma come along and stuff, so it would be a special place to get it, and as I say, it would be more special if it was in 5 for 20, not 1 for 150.
Okay.